What's up, everybody? How's it going today?
Well, I'm doing great.
Just trying to stay sane.
Yeah. That's an understatement.
Hey, do y'all know if anyone's having trouble getting in? They made us add a password. So if you know if someone's trying to get in and they need help getting in, let me know. Sophia is in eating cookies once again. Always seems to be eating.
I can't get my hair cut. My haircut place is closed.
I think everyone's haircut place is closed, Kyle.
Yeah.
Just grow it out.
Yeah, it's the one time you have in life to grow it out before
I know, it's going to get all shaved off.
before you have to have it high and tight for the rest of your life. So you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
You have to shave your hair?
Yeah, they have to shave my head when I get there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Not like bald, but just basically.
No,
I think it's down to like either like a 2 or a 1. It's not completely bald, but it's.
I'll bet they'll make you go bald at some point.
I bet they will. Yeah.
They'll haze you.
I'm ready for it, man.
You have to send pictures.
I will. I'm sure my parents will, or someone will video it.
That's a good way to get hazed even more if they catch you sending pictures to your high school friends.
Oh yeah. If I get any pictures in the mail, they take them from me and tear them up. So I can't have any pictures.
It's pretty
Like
brutal.
nothing?
Yeah, no, I can't have anything.
I
If,
swear Tracy had some pictures.
No, they told me I couldn't have any. And like,
Not for basics, but like when you're there.
oh yeah, when you're there, yeah. But like I'm
Okay.
basic training, yeah.
When did you dye your hair pink?
Oh, I dyed it again a couple days ago.
Oh my goodness.
It was pink or purple or whatever like 2 weeks ago. Dalton's face.
So that's what Mia is doing to keep from being bored. What's everyone else doing to keep them
Eating.
occupied?
Flying.
Kayaking.
Are you actually kayaking, Dalton?
Yeah, me and Maddie do on the creek.
Oh, that's not social distancing.
Well, she doesn't have coronavirus, so we're good.
She could be an asymptomatic carrier.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Good answer.
Good answer, Dalton. That was a test.
There you go.
All right, I'll give it a couple more minutes. Everyone getting their schoolwork done?
I
No.
have not started today.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. I think that's how.
Is it
everybody's
true that
moving.
everything's due on Thursday this week?
What's up?
I heard that everything was due on Thursday.
Really?
No, Saturday.
Saturday?
It's about to be like
Yeah, it's gonna be a Good Friday.
All right, cool. We're vibing then.
If you do your work, you will get credit for it.
Yeah.
It's basically where we're at.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayberry's like giving us like a full plate too.
Well, you
I've
still have to take
heard.
an AP test.
Yeah.
Are there gonna be any normal tests?
So
That
who
AP
wants to
test
get
is gonna be
into AP
impossible.
Bio and take that thing.
Yeah.
Those AP tests are going to be so hard.
I'm happy I don't have to take them.
Biochem, right?
They don't count.
Something like that. Coach Ward, didn't you major in like biochem or whatever?
He's a science guy.
Biomedical science.
Biomedical science. Okay, you want to help me take my AP test and
If you need any help, I'm more than willing to help you for sure.
It is open book. isn't it?
It is open book, but that just means it's going to be that much harder.
It's open teacher.
Okay, I'm going to get started. I'm going to try to keep today a little shorter. This was something that you guys wanted to see whenever we first did this. Y'all said you wanted to see transition defense and kind of help on who needs to be where when we're covering the counter attack and how to kind of switch people if we need to switch people. But mostly, hold on, letting more people in. But today is mostly going to be kind of like a whiteboard type of talk. I'm going to show you my screen. I'm going to draw it up and we're going to talk about different situations. And that's going to end up taking like 10, 15 minutes. And then we'll do clips over the same topic on Wednesday. So we're going to do 2 days over transition defense today. I'm not going to show you any of your clips or any YouTube clips, but we're just going to kind of talk it through. And if you have any questions, please ask them because y'all might be thinking of things that I didn't think y'all would have questions about. So just if you have any questions, unmute yourself and speak up or type it in the chat if you need to. But I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to go to, hold on. Okay, can y'all see me? I think you can see my screen now.
You want to lay the couch?
And let me go to my, here we go. Okay, so the easiest way to break down this transition defense is, it's a lot like a zone defense. Working on the assumption that one of your teammates is going to be beaten down the field, working on the assumption that there's going to be more offense than there is defense, it kind of turns into a zone. And I've kind of broken down the zones by priority. Okay, so right in front of the goal, that's kind of like zone A. You, at all costs, you got to protect zone A. You have to protect what's in the middle right here. After that, zone B is up top in these really good shooting lanes. This is where their good shooters will kind of stop and try to draw you outside of A. They want to open up A as well. So if they can stop in B and pull you out of A, they can open up their set player. But also these are good angles for outside shots. And then C is inside the 5 meter, but outside of the post. Not really a good shooting lane, not really much to worry about out there. The whole goal of this transition defense is to push the players into a C zone, or to decide to leave a player that is in the C zone or headed toward the C zone, kind of leave them alone and focus on the other priorities in A or in B. So the colors is like red. You don't want it, it's like you don't want them to go in red and then yellow and then green. Green is okay. So that was the best way I was able to come up with to kind of do it about the priority, like you're always protecting the middle. So starting off with the situation that's probably going to happen most often is a first wave counterattack, trying to defend that. So when I'm talking about first wave, I'm talking about these 3 players up here. Okay, we're on defense, so we're X2, X3, X4. We've just finished an offensive possession and we're doing transition defense. So the most likely thing that's going to happen is maybe our teammate here has driven down, or our teammate here has driven down, and then they're going to have a 3-on-2 going up the other way. That's one really likely thing that could happen. So we got to talk about how to defend kind of a 3-on-2 counterattack. So let's say we're all these guys are driving up. The most likely thing that's going to happen is their goalie is going to be right-handed. So by the time they get to the 5 meter line, they know that the ball is going to be right here. Okay. So as defenders, what you need to do, let's say X2 was the one who just performed a drive at the end of the offensive possession So it's X3 and X4 left to defend the 3-on-2 counterattack. Okay, what you got to do here is you got to split the two offensive people that are coming down the pool. Okay, so you have to protect the middle and you have to head in, feet out, split inside zone A. Both of you have half of the person in the middle of A, and then one of you has a half of this guy. X3 has a half of that guy, and X4 has a half of that guy. Okay, so going down the pool, this is how we want to defend this. Okay, if the ball ends up right here, we're gonna leave him be, and we're gonna guard the two guys that are in A. Because if he comes out here, our goalie can lock in on him, knowing that he has a defender on this guy in the middle and a defender on the far post. So you're never going to jump from the inside to the outside. You have to protect the middle first. Okay, so if the X2 has just driven down, the most likely guy that's going to be the first one to get there and to help is probably going to be X1, because that is where we put our fast guys. That's where we put our speedsters on that weak side wing. Okay, so this weak side, your help is always going to come from the far post. So once this guy checks in here, now X3 can scoot over and completely guard this guy by himself, and X4 can scoot over and completely guard this guy by himself. But the priority is inside out, guarding the middle of zone A and then working your way out. Anyone have any questions on guarding that 3-on-2? Coach W, you got anything you want to say?
Biggest thing is just make sure like you're leaving with that first wave when you're switching into defense. And like you said, don't switch players once you're driving down. Let that goalkeeper fixate on somebody and you focus on somebody else, because once you start switching, then the goalkeeper has to readjust, get set up, and usually in that transition time, that's when they're able to make a quick pass and a shot. So
Right. So exactly. So the main takeaways here are when you're going down the field, when you're going down the pool, you have to split the 3 people you're trying to defend, because we're trying to defend 3 people with 2 people. So they both have to have half a person.
yeah.
Okay. So you want to make sure you split going down the pool until that goalie makes a decision. Okay. And once the goalie decides, once the opposite goalie decides which way they're going to pass it, then we decide which side the goalkeeper needs to go to. And then if they pass it to the right side, which they probably will because most people are right-handed, the goalie can focus in on that guy. And now it's 3-on-3, counting our goalie as a defender right there. So we've kind of eliminated their advantage there. And then making sure, the other big thing here is making sure that our help is going to come from the backside. And this guy right here who's splitting, X3, who's splitting, he's keeping his head on a swivel, seeing when his help arrives, because as soon as his help gets there, he can focus his full attention on their set, and our X4 can split out and guard the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on that first wave? Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and goalies, I know Miles and Dalton are in here, but like you just need to make sure that you're also communicating to your teammates and say, hey, I got them, or like if you want to, you know what I mean? It's just y'all got to communicate this whole time and say, I got them, or you got them, or whatever.
Exactly. Okay, so now let's talk about an entire team going back and counterattacking. We're going to talk 5-on-5. We're not going to talk about our set or their center defender quite yet. I need to get back to the color I want. There we go. So we're not talking about first wave anymore. Now we're talking about the whole team coming back. So I'm going to take away this box. Okay, so if we are able to break down their whole first wave, give me a second. I'll redraw and make it look pretty again. So if we're able to break down their whole first wave, that means that their goalie is looking for an outlet pass. So the most likely, if we're able to break down this first wave and they're not able to get to zone A with an advantage, so that means all of our top players, all of our first wave defense were able to make it back. X4 up here, X3 right here, and X2 right here. That means that the goalie is now going to be looking for an outlet pass. So that means that we have to be looking at 5 coming in or out or releasing, however he's going to do to get open. And let's say on this one, this is our weak man, okay? So he's the one who's down, X5 is down. This guy has released early, so the open pass is going to be right here at his release. Okay, you guys know, because you guys know counterattack offense really well at this point, that this is when our offender right here, the person who has become 06, this is when it's time for him to seal out and make room for his set in space. Okay, so kind of what you're looking at now is an offense out here, an offense out here, and then at both posts. So what we have right now is a 4-on-3. It's kind of what we're working with. Okay, when we're waiting for help to come either from X5 or from X1. Okay, the most important thing, the thing that cannot happen, is X4 cannot be caught trying to guard the outlet. Okay, X4 cannot be caught being lazy, not making it all the way down the pool, and stopping in zone B just because there's someone to defend there. If X4 is lazy and doesn't bust his butt all the way to the 2 meter to guard A, then you have a 2-on-2 with a guy at safe water in front of him. Whoops, wrong color. If X4 doesn't bust his butt, then this defender who just countered back has beautiful open water right here, and you're guarding the outlet pass. A guy who's not even in a zone that we have to worry about a shot coming from. So the most important thing is that X4 busts his butt and gets all the way back to guarding A. Whenever he gets all the way back to guarding A, we'll give up the pass out here because he can't do anything from out there. He's not going to take a shot. And we would have a 3-on-2 in the middle. Okay, so what X4 has to do, bust his butt, get back and guard A, and he stays there. Okay, he's kind of splitting these two players, and he stays there until he gets help back. Also a big thing by him not helping, by him not being sucked out to the outlet pass, it cuts down on the space X5 has to cover before he's contributing to the defense, right? If X4 stays back and guards the guy in A, X5, the one who got beat down the pool, only has to come to the 7-8 meter line before he's participating again in the defense. Whereas if X4 had come up and got sucked out by the outlet pass, X5 has to go all the way back down the pool before he's contributing at all. So we are basically building a fence around zone A and making sure that they're not getting the ball in there. Any questions on this situation? Coach Dub, you got anything?
No, I don't think so. Just always make sure you're protecting that center A, I guess, A area there, because like you said, basically.
Right. When you bet, the most important thing is you're always working from the outside in.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Okay, I'm going to
And-
show you. Go ahead.
No, and it's just, and if you do get caught behind, you just need to make sure that, like you said, busting your butt, getting down there and calling for help. Otherwise, we will be in a losing situation.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about another situation that's probably going to be one of the more likely things to happen. I'm going to try to make my canvas here look pretty again. So just give me a second. I want to get rid of all these lines. Okay, and this is the last situation I want to talk about because I think this is probably the most likely situation that's going to happen. It's definitely the situation that we try to create with our counterattack offense. As soon as I can get this to work. There we go. Okay, back to our zones. We're back at half court on the other side. We've just finished an offensive possession. And the thing that we like to try to do, especially on the boys' side, is we keep our speedster out on the weak wing. This is where we like to have Kyle right out at X1. Okay. Well, if we were playing offense, he would be out here in this position. And this is what a lot of teams like to do, keep their speedster on the weak side. That way, when the shot clock is kind of ticking down, when you get to kind of the 10, 9, 8 mark, he can leave and it's not going to hurt the offensive or the defensive possession that much. Okay, so this is what we like to try to do. So a really likely situation that could happen is this winger leaves early and he gets a clear line towards the pool. And this is when things can become the most confusing because when he does this, everybody on our team ends up guarding somebody different. They're looking at a different cap number. They're looking at a different face. And the biggest thing we have to remember is that you don't guard a man, you guard the goal, right? You don't care who has the ball. You just care that the ball doesn't get in the net. So this is kind of the one that can be the most complicated. So in this situation, weak side wing has left early. X1 has gotten left in the dust, and he is starting the counterattack going up. If they have a good set player, their set player isn't going to go just down the middle, okay? Their set player is going to hit the opposite side post. He's going to try to do that. That way he's on the other side of the goal. So if a pass has to come from here to here, the goalie switches all the way over and he's giving himself a really good shot. And we know that this guy is going to clear out all the way to C to try to create space for the double post that they are setting up. What I really want to focus in on is what this offense is going to try to do. Okay, we know that if we're able to break down the first wave, let's talk about what that would look like if we're able to break down this 3-man counterattack. The way that would work is first, X3 has to get up and go and split these two guys right here. And X4 has to get up and go and split these two guys right here. Until this offense has split all the way out to C. Okay, when this offense has gone all the way out to C, X4 is going to leave him alone. If that's where the ball goes, that is the most favorable shot for us on defense. So by that time, X4 needs to be inside of this guy. So we kind of got two people in the middle against their two people on the outside. That's how we would be able to break down that first wave. Is everyone tracking with me on that? Do we have any questions on that? Okay, so if that happens, the goalie is going to be looking for an outlet pass. Okay, so let's say the goalie looks for an outlet pass right here on the left side. Okay, so this offense gets all the way up here. He notices that it's 2-on-2 in the middle. He doesn't want to crowd that anymore. So he's going to stop right here and try to get an outlet pass about the 7-8 meter mark. Now, the really, really important thing, again, is that X2 does not get sucked in by this outlet pass. Okay, because remember, we're playing man down, basically. We're playing man down, basically. So the big thing is that X2 doesn't get caught by the outlet pass, lets him have it outside at B, and checks in at A before he bounces out. In the videos we're going to watch on Wednesday, what happens a lot is even though there's a 2-on-2 in A, this guy will come in with the intent of coming in to double team the set player and then walk back out to guard the outlet pass. Because it's super important that you take away the middle and then step up. You got to make sure the middle is taken care of before you step up. Okay? X5 is probably going to be doing the same thing. Okay? He's going to be looking for a seal out over here. Okay? So it's really, really, really important that our X5 doesn't get caught by that seal out, but comes and checks in right here and then takes away the shot in B. Okay, so everything we're doing is all about guarding this middle zone. Going in and basically checking in at the 2 or 3 meter, making sure your guard, your center defense, your first wave defense has kind of neutralized the first wave, and then bouncing it out to B, and then bouncing it out to C to play defense. Everyone following me on that? Does anyone have any questions? Okay, I got some notes that I'm gonna post on, I'll scan it and I'll send it over email. That might make it a little bit better and you can kind of see it step by step, kind of what I'm thinking, kind of what everybody's priority is. And then on Wednesday, we'll watch clips over it. I'll try to sprinkle in some of your clips. I'm gonna sprinkle in some professional clips, but then we'll kind of get a better idea of what it looks like to always be making sure you're kind of building an iron curtain around A before you go in and you check anywhere else. Coach W, you got anything you add? Does anyone have any questions?
I'm good on my end. Biggest thing, just make sure your head's on a you're moving and guarding that center area there. That's about all I got. What? Did you hear any of what I just said?
No,
Oh,
I heard you.
you did or no?
I did.
you cut out
Was
for
there
a
a
minute.
pause for everyone? Or
Yeah, I got to pause.
But the biggest thing is, and I think this is where we get caught up the most, is that the people at like X3, X4, they are too focused on what's going on their end, and they forget that they need to come back for defense. So just making sure that we are keeping our head on a swivel, always moving, always ready to sprint back to protect our cage is huge in these moments.
I can't hear anyone if someone's talking.
Yeah, Ford, you're on mute.